Everybody.
Hi.
I gotta look it up. No, they're not gonna do Kiva Ranger. Maybe they'll do it in the movie, like they did with Zenkaiger. Duel Part 2. Stupid. Yeah, it's Go Goki. It's fucking Bokenger. That was way better.
That was
way better.
Yeah, it was really good. Actually, that was an incredibly good episode.
Like doing it in that order was way better.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's Bobo. Why do you keep coming to the end of episodes? How does she know?
Could you play the fucking... I'm trying to play music. Like
Bobo.
Bobo's bingers.
Bobo's bingers. She's clawing up the sofa. Bobo on stream? Hey, Bobo. Bobo. Hey, Bobo. Oh, she's getting back on her favourite sleeping place.
Bobo,
a pair of my old jeans.
Bingy, bingy. Wow, Bobo's pinky. Bobo's bingy.
Oi.
That was pretty good. What happened in Geats? For $200, name something that happened this week in Geats.
Ace was a funny motherfucker.
Yeah. Pump Jack.
Pump Jack, that's
Is that actually what it's called?
That is what he's...
The pumpkin fuck? No, it's Punk Jack.
Punk Jack.
Pumpkin fucker.
That's something else.
That's a different thing that we're not allowed to talk about on Twitch anymore. Probably.
1984.
What did I miss at the start of Geats? Punk Jack is apparently a staff member of the Squid Game.
Yeah. That would fucking suck if you clocked into work one day and they were like, no, you have to participate in the Squid Game.
Can he die?
I was going to say, and you can probably also die.
It would be very anticlimactic if they just introduced a new character just to kill him off. And like, none of the other characters.
Run that.
Why wouldn't they wait to do a round where they teamed everybody up until they had odd numbers of characters?
But can you imagine what a team-up episode would look like with the fucking panda? That would have been unbearable. That guy was the fucking worst.
Punk Jack hitting him back wasn't scripted, that's funny. I would do that too. He just goes back to work, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he gets paid time and a half for the rider battle
Fuck
stuff?
no.
Absolutely
That's
not.
his lunch break. Hey, go clock out.
This is volunteer stuff.
Yeah, did he pick the cape?
I wonder if you do get staff privilege.
I hope he sticks around.
That would be fun.
Just
I would like to have just
not as a character, just the guy, like as a guy.
Pure like physical, like silent physical comedy.
Yeah.
Him just throwing himself at people.
He choose not to talk. It's not like he can't talk.
Yeah, he could. I mean, they have to remain anonymous, but like they don't know who he is by voice. So.
He chose to do that.
Punk Jack, he chose to do
that.
Punk Jack's getting a figure in the Revolve Change line? That's not fucking true.
That's not true. Who said that?
Bundled with Nago? Shut up!
Who said that? That's not true. You're lying.
As if.
Does that mean he's sticking around?
I really... Imagine if he doesn't. That would be fucking funny. Figure of a guy who's in 2 episodes.
Hey, if he's in like next episode, his screen time will surpass like both other bears.
Yeah.
Basically.
Certainly in suit.
Maybe he's the bear. Maybe he's the guy.
Maybe he's the real wearer of the bear stuff.
Neon's Brace Buckle's B. Oh, Do Re Mi Fa B again.
Oh, it's all the same shit.
All the same shit. Fantasy. Monster. How are they gonna do monster and zombie?
Ain't that the so?
Nice
Beat zombie fantasy
Magnum. Who gets fantasy?
Ninja.
Who would get fantasy? There's gotta be more guys. Like
There's gotta be more guys. Also, I'm realizing Punk Jack is probably actually the real bear because he's the only one who had like a different bit for the suit that none of the others have had. Because he's got the cape, and neither of the other two had fucking anything. And thus far, all the guys who are actually real.
Oh, Fantasy Mike! I forgot about Mary.
Oh,
I was like, there's
no
way this
fucking
guy's gonna
chance.
live.
No fucking chance. But what if he does?
I don't
That
understand
was
because like somebody goes at every like I don't understand where we're going with this long term.
How
I mean,
does
we're, by episode 12 we'll be like done with the show. Like everyone will
It's
be
true.
dead by then.
It'll be over.
That's when the real show will start. This is like prologue shit. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's exactly like what I'm like by like episode 12 like the first like storyline will end. It's like Ghost did that. Remember like
Yeah,
Ghost
you can't-
succinctly ended in like the first 15 episodes?
Yeah, you
And
can't
then-
sustain this
you
like
can't
this
sustain
premise
this.
for a whole show.
I mean,
It
you
just-
could,
it just
but not
hasn't
if you're
got
gonna
the
kill
legs.
somebody every 2 weeks.
No,
And there's only like
exactly.
6 people to begin with.
Yeah, the way we're doing it, amazing how many people died. in
You
the
know how many
first
people
one.
were in Squid Game?
Yay!
Squid Game! I don't remember. It's like 100.
It's a lot. It was a
300.
lot of people.
It's a lot, a couple hundred people.
And there were like what 50 in this in the first round, and then fucking
Were there?
7 in the next one.
That didn't happen.
They killed a lot of people off screen.
I've already forgotten everything. I might as well have not watched those episodes.
Yeah, well, they were there in the big group shot where everyone got drafted into the Squid Game. And then the next time you hear about them is on the leaderboard where it's like, and they all died.
And they all died.
Don't worry about them. We made special little ID cores for them. They'll probably be a premium band by set of that.
400 ID cores.
Or not, actually. They might not. I don't know if that would have the... I mean,
400
reason not
different
to.
ID cores.
most of them are bears, weirdly.
Yeah.
There were some lions, some sharks, a giraffe, I think.
I don't want to
Some
see
other
how the
shit.
fucking giraffe works.
Oh, fuck, that would be absolutely appalling to look at.
Oh god, I just forgot about this and then I remembered. Do you remember this? Look at my screen.
Or... Oh, that's not real.
It is
It's not
real.
That's not real.
It is
It's not
real.
Not happening.
It
Not
is
happening.
real. What would a movie writer be? That's a good question. That's a good question.
Oh,
that's a question
fuck,
that I
that's
really want to
actually-
get into.
That's a very, very good question.
No! It's not. It's not Dan Kuroto.
It won't. It can't be. Oh, I forgot about the fucking man in the mask. I forgot
Yeah,
it was
because he
even a thing.
hasn't showed up.
He hasn't been in the show. I'm glad he got a better mask between
Dan
his first
Kuroto Halloween
appearances.
themed.
I mean, more so than anyone else, I guess.
Dangerous Zone.
Dangerous.
Yeah, he's a punk jack.
Do you remember when that?
Nope,
I'm not even gonna say it. No. It's not worth getting into.
I don't. Chain
You have-
array. Ninja.
Chain, armed chain arrow.
Armed chain array.
Stupid. Stupid thing to say.
Stupid
Get ready
bitch.
for Booze.
Booze.
Booze. And Magnum.
And Magnum.
And also. Again.
And also. Big Monster Fantasy.
Big.
Yeah, that would be, I guess, Mary, Nago, and that's wow. Why is that music like suddenly so loud?
Turn it up.
Turn it up.
DJ!
I think
Oh,
worse
sleeping
people
Bobo.
passives. Oh, that's all nonsense. This isn't.
Dagger? Fire. Drill. Scissors.
Who are, these are
power.
not characters. Who are these? These aren't characters that you've just
Oh, is-
made up. The fucking wiki has a list of all the other bullshit writers who aren't real.
Yes, that's what I mean. All these fucking guys.
Nepo,
Let me get a
Razbu,
look at these names.
Barrels, Baboon, Common Writer Baboon,
Kamen Rider Babu.
Kamen Rider Gojun. Kamen Rider Parka. Kamen Rider Dolphin.
Okay.
Kamen Rider Liza.
Yeah, I wonder. Why have they all got names next to me?
Kamen Rider Horan. Kamen Rider Biste.
Barl.
Milo. Nepo. Whatever.
Nothing. Other DGP participants. Fucking pretending. The people who run Rider Wiki are such a nuisance for fucking bothering with shit like this. Just leave it. Fucking leave it alone. I can't wait for that guy from...
Kamen Rider Geats holds the record for having the most Kamen Riders that either appeared or were mentioned in the series, succeeding Hibiki and Gaim. That doesn't count. Kill yourself.
This doesn't count. I will fucking kill you. This does not count.
Alright, what do you want? It's better not be stupid. Okay. Why? Like, why? What? Where'd it go?
Nothing.
Stop! I don't want to save this to my fucking hard drive. It's up.
Why?
Fuck, kill yourself.
You've done terrible things to the boss here.
Why did you send this to me?
What is
the purpose of this?
Why did you want this?
What did you want me to do with this? Why did you want to show me this?
Mail's friend.
A spoopy snack.
Not what they're called.
Super green. Because it's funny.
It's that fucking Detail of Heroes thing where they list off every part of the helmet and tell you
it's all bullshit.
That's completely made up.
It's the hard
not
sci-fi
real.
shit.
Yeah, which is just not real in the fucking least.
The Decade,
oh god, where he can shout.
He can shout like fucking 10,000 decibels. And...
That one clip from whatever fucking Marvel thing it was where that guy turns his parents into fucking dust.
Bitch!
The thing where it's like it allows Decade to float.
People have been talking a lot about hard sci-fi because of that fucking Yuri quote that's been going around. But like specifically in conjunction with Gundam, which is funny because Gundam is not, nor has it ever been, hard sci-fi. Because like it's the same level of hard sci-fi as Kamen Rider, where if you go to the bullshit supplementary material that was not written by a writer and has like no bearing on the plot or like the show, and like nobody in the writer's room, okay, is like when they were writing Decade, nobody in the writer's room was like, yeah, and in this scene Decade uses his super fucking shouting power in his fucking helmet to like what, right? Nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
Like nobody gives a shit on the writing team about the hard sci-fi of Kamen Rider. There's never a discussion in the show about just info dumping hard sci-fi shit. It's the same way in Gundam. There's never a scene in Gundam, even in the most like hard, like even in the hardest like real robo I can think of in like the Gundam franchise, fucking doesn't there's never a point in like the original anime where they just info dump about the fucking like mechanics of what makes the RX-78 work, right? They don't do that. You just expect, even though like all that information exists in like Gundam, like Gunpla like magazines and like all the bullshit like supplementary sources, it doesn't matter because in the end the mobile suit does in the anime what the writers need it to do in the anime.
Yeah,
it doesn't. There's no hard rules other than what the writers impose on it.
It can do what the fuck ever.
So people like, it's hard. It's like it's not hard sci-fi. Like there's no scene. There is not, nor will there ever be. There's going to be a scene in Gundam Witch from Mercury where they're just going to just dump about fucking sci-fi shit. It just isn't gonna happen in a fucking anime. It's never mattered because it's boring.
Yeah,
That's
like
what
it's not
that
interesting.
is what Star Trek is about, though.
It's Star Trek.
Star Trek does just have long-winded
bits where the
characters
characters
just
talk
about bullshit.
Science they've made up.
Science they've fucking made up. But the trick in Star Trek, the way that it works, because most of the time, those are the characters who are talking want to fucking suck each other off. Or they fucking hate each other. Like, it's either one or the other. It's like DS9, it's like, oh, here's the episode where Bashir is explaining a bunch of medical bullshit to, like, O'Brien, but the entire time he's talking, he's just thinking about sucking his dick.
It's not about what he's saying.
It's not about what he's saying. It's about the way they look at each other while he's saying it.
You're not supposed to be listening to the details, really. It's all just about getting the point across.
It's about the point across that he wants to throw his dick. Okay, Fate is like that. Fate is legitimately like that. Fate explains the rules in such an unbelievable amount of depth because fucking they're insane in that one, and then they immediately break their own rules. Fucking the Fate visual novel will spend like 15 minutes explaining why a character's noble phantasm is like objectively impossible to defend against, and there's nothing. And then 40 seconds after that, Saber will just beat it anyway, and they'll be like, "I just spent 15 minutes explaining how that's physically not possible. How the fuck did you do that?" It's like
skill issue.
Suck my cock. I don't know what to tell you, boss. If you read the 15-minute description of how my powers work, it actually is better than yours.
They can actually counter all of your counters.
And also there's no actual basis for anything in Fate, because also it still applies to whatever the writer wants to happen happens.
Yeah.
And like there's no consistency, especially across iterations.
Oh god, yeah.
There's no consistency whatsoever in like across iterations of Fate. It's all bullshit. Like there are rules, but the rules aren't based in like an actual system.
Yeah, exactly.
When you talk about hard sci-fi,
rules,
I think instead of hard sci-fi, you should more talk about like hard fantasy. Is more of an apt term. Like there's a lot of like high fantasy magic systems, like Lord of the Rings or like whatever, where they have like. Actually, I don't know that much about Lord of the Rings, so maybe I shouldn't be talking. But like. There are fucking concrete rules to how magic works, and you can't, like, there's a foundation, because the fucking writer spent like 6 months developing their actual magic system and how it would function in actual reality, like if magic was real or whatever, and then the characters have to abide by that fantasy. Like there's no fudging it in that kind of shit. That's way harder than like any sci-fi I've ever really been a part of.
Yeah.
But like Star Trek is like the ultimate like hard sci-fi, where it's like, yeah, we can't, except it's not like it isn't because like Star Trek's lore has such intricately like developed shit that there's literally a fake language that those motherfuckers made up.
Yeah.
But also every episode, like Kirk will be like, we have to make the ship go faster, and Scotty will be like, that's physically not possible, and he's like, I did not fucking ask you, and then they just do it anyway.
Chief, this isn't a democracy.
It's just not a democracy, boss. I told you to go faster. Did anybody ever read Aragon?
Oh god, I did.
With the dragon? That had a really hard magic system in it.
Maybe I don't remember.
I don't remember too much of it, but there was a pretty hard limit to how magic works in those books. It was the kind of shit that was like, if you fuck up a spell, it'll just straight ass kill you.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember how it works. I literally haven't read these books since I was a kid, and also they're not very good, honestly. The way the magic system works is it like takes energy either from your body or from stores. Like you can store magical energy in gems and stuff, but it has to come from somewhere, right? So you can like suck the goddamn magic, you can like suck the life out of shit and like use that as magic. Like you can like suck, you can even like suck, and you could suck, and you could suck.
You could suss.
And suss. You can like take it out of like plants and like animals and like stuff, where you could basically like spend, it's literally like D&D system, where like you can like spend an hour like coming into a fucking crystal and then it'll just get stored in there, and then like you like sleep for 8 hours, and then like the energy is recovered. Like you physically expend energy, right? And then that's how you can cast more powerful spells, because you can use the stores of energy you have in crystals, in gems, instead of relying it from your own body. But like when the magic is like, when it's like being taught to the protagonist in the earlier novels, it's like, yeah, dude, if you fuck up the wording of a spell, you can't just cancel it. Like you can't just be like, just kidding. It will and it's like, if you try to cast magic that's too powerful, once like the incarnation is finished, it will run its course even if it fucking kills you. Like if you try to cast like Fireball at level 10 and you don't have enough power in your body, you'll just die. You can't stop the spell from being cast. Once it's being finished cast, you will just die. That's hard shit.
Yeah.
That's hard rules.
That's real.
They abided by that shit too, for the most part, as far as I remember. Because there was a lot of time where like, it was like, yeah, we could like shoot this army with a huge fireball and fucking kill them all, but like then we would be like unconscious because we just used like all that energy and shit. What was I talking about?
We got started talking about like the Geats Riders passives that aren't real.
Oh yeah, the
passives.
passives.
How we started with this. Nothing.
Don't read Aragon, it's not worth your time. I mean, maybe if you like really derivative high fantasy novels for like children, that was written by like a 20-year-old who like nepotism published his novels.
Awesome.
It's not okay. I'm being like mean, but that is like true.
That's how it goes.
It is true. That guy, sure, he's a fine guy, but his parents did own the publishing company.
So, for real?
Yes, that's like straight nepotism for real.
Not even like, because I was thinking like there's a guy whose stuff I've read where it's like both his parents are very like quite famous novelists. So no, nepotism. No, like literally just they own the company.
They own the publishing company.
Hell yes.
They were okay, but they were like really derivative.
Definitely.
It's like the kind of derivative where if it's like your first foray into like swords and what's the kind of like spells and swords and
sorcery?
Swords and sorcery, like kind of high fantasy and like the big dragons and everything. Like if you read that as a kid, like I did, you'd be like, "This is awesome." But like if you are a fan of high fantasy, you probably realize how like derivative it is.
Yeah, I've seen this.
It borrows very heavily. I mean, so does a lot of fantasy, but it borrows quite heavily in its sort of structure and like races as like the Lord of the Rings novels. You know, your dwarves, your elves, your fucking whatever, and they're pretty much exactly the same. It also weirdly borrowed a lot of the like overarching plot structure of the Star Wars movies. I'm not kidding. Like the overarching plot structure of the main character's like narrative is quite similar to Luke Skywalker, actually. Even like the Uncle Ben character, like, or like the old man Ben character, not the Uncle Ben from Spider-Man, but like Ben Kenobi, the old mentor who's been watching over him all his life and dies tragically in like the climax of the first book after he passes on his Dragon Rider, shit, you know. And then in the second book, he sends, like, with his, like, dying words or whatever, he sends them to Yoda, another dragon. It's like, very broad strokes, very much Star Wars, except it's knights and fantasy and shit. And there's, like, the evil emperor, and, like, he has a dragon, too. It's Star Wars with dragons.
Star Wars with dragons. Did you ever... this is not necessarily related. Did you ever see those like novelizations of the Star Wars movies, but they were like written in the style of Shakespeare stuff?
I didn't ever really read them. There was one that was sitting around in my English teacher's room that I picked up a couple times, and I'm like, this is funny. I out of interest, because I am aware that the structure of the dialogue writing is a big reason that a lot of scenes, especially in the prequels, fucking suck shit. So I was curious to know how they actually read when like you write them a different way. I was like, what did they include the "I don't like sand" thing? Did they do the prequels? in that
did
style?
do the prequels.
Last time I checked, it was just the original.
Nah, they did the prequels as well. Because I looked and I was like, can you make that? Because like when they got to like the adaptation, they're like, fuck.
Nay, I shan't.
We have to do that. Oh shit! And then I read it, and I was like, actually not terrible. I kind of now I get it. When the dialogue isn't, what it is in that scene. Yeah. It's like, oh, I get what he's saying. I understand what you mean by this. Why, George?
Why did he mean by that? Tell me what he meant by that. For $500.
What he meant by this.
What did he mean by episode 2?
What
For
did
$500, defend episode 2 to me right now.
Fucking absolutely not.
For $10,000, defend episode 2 right now.
The moral cost is too high to do.
There's gotta be somebody out there whose favorite Star Wars movie is fucking Attack of the Clones.
There literally does, and I can't imagine what it must be like to live that way.
I like to make fun of people. Like, you make fun of people who like would say something like their favorite fucking like Star Wars movie would be like episode fucking 8 or whatever. But it's like, who likes episode 2? Like, nobody actually likes that movie.
That's the one that like everyone will agree is basically indefensible. It's
kind of rough. It's I think the lowest point in any. We've all done this, right? The full series watch. We've all done this at some point.
I've certainly contemplated it. I don't.
You've never done it?
Strength. I've never quite had the strength to endure.
I've done it at least, I don't know, twice.
Would you believe I've only ever seen episode 3 one time?
That's unfortunate.
Like, all the way
just
through.
The once?
I saw it once.
Like, you know what? I'm good.
I'm good. I was like after having, owned 1 and 2 on VHS, and 3 came out on DVD, and I was like, sure, I'll watch it.
I missed it.
Fuck no. Absolutely not. Even when I was young, I was like,
it's not like I knew.
No, I know, but I had watched episode 2 on VHS by that point, and I was like, I didn't even pay attention. I didn't know there was a third one. Like, I knew they would make another one, but I didn't know like it was out, and I was like, oh shit, Star Wars.
I had episode 1 on VHS too. It's one of the first movies I remember watching.
I had all of them on VHS.
I have VHS copies of the special edition of the original trilogy.
Oh, that's rough.
They're not. I know that it is a special edition. The reason that I own them is because that's the version of the Star Wars trilogy that I watched growing up, because that's what my dad had.
Yeah.
And then, so it has some level of sentimental value to me. Those specific copies. I don't have the specific copies because they're my dad's. But I was at a con one year, and I found like another copy of that exact box set, and I bought it. I don't know where it is right now, but I bought it strictly for sentimental reasons.
Yeah.
Because that's how I watched Star Wars growing up as a kid. It's like the gold box with Darth Vader on the side. You've probably seen it. It doesn't matter.
Somewhere.
I don't even have a VHS player. I couldn't watch that crap if I wanted to.
I still do. I have the TV I fucking watched those movies on. Because it had a built-in VHS player.
You pay your tele license for that?
Fuck no, you don't have to pay that if it's actually like wired in.
Pay your tele license?
I don't have one. I've never had one.
Never had a TV officer.
Well, no, okay, not never.
Until I was about TV officer.
Until I was about 18 months old, I had a TV in the place I lived, and then we moved to somewhere else, and I've never fucking had a house with one since.
Never had a TV officer. It's like a TV in the background.
Yeah. It's just for playing my Xbox officer.
It's just for playing I don't watch Tele Officer.
When I was about like in the range of about 8 to 12, I think, the landlady of the place we lived was like, oh, I've got an old TV with like a VHS player that I never use. I've got like a bigger one, like a tiny little like box of a thing, not like a TV proper, just like a little square CRT. And she's like, yeah, I've got that I like never use. You guys are welcome to it if you want. And I was like, well, I have one already, but I had this like long piece of furniture, and I just had the two on there next to each other. And this was before, like, this was possibly even before we had like a modern kind of desktop computer. So my equivalent of having 2 tabs open was to be playing the Xbox or whatever on my old TV, and then have a VHS of something in the other one. And I did that all the fucking time. That was like my afternoons. I'd get home, I'd find a VHS, stick that in, and put on some Halo 3.
Oh, free, innit?
Bit of Halo.
Did you play Halo 3 on a fucking SD?
Yeah.
You played that shit with SD fucking composite cables?
Oh,
blurry ass motherfucker.
The little this thing has
on a
video
4x3?
in jack. Oh yeah, it has a. I played that shit split screen on that. No less. So like half a 4x3. I played that with 3 controllers once. Like Christ. 3 people on that one screen. Jesus. I don't know how they managed.
Fuck them.
Fuck those guys. Yeah, this TV has a video in jack and it has an audio in jack, and that's it. It does not have a stereo in jack. It has one speaker on the left.
Fuck me.
And that was how I experienced a whole lot of stuff.
See,
growing up,
I played. By the time I got a 360, the room that I had it in, I think the first 3D was still fucking SD composite cables. But I did play Halo 3 on a fucking widescreen, like a fucking 16:9 or whatever.
Yeah.
Shit, not a 4x3. The last time I played a shit on a 4x3 was the PS2. Fucking Kingdom Hearts I played on a 4x3.
Oh. My dad did have at his place because by that point it separated. And he had a way bigger TV which had a video in, an audio in, and a stereo in, and that was so I had it like it was still just SD but like bigger. And then I got the TV that I still have now. It's not the one I use now. That's from my stepdad. No, not stepdad, father-in-law. I always get that wrong. Whatever. From Voss's dad, which is like maybe 4 years newer than that one, which I've had since 2013. And I remember getting that, even though it has HDMI ports, I didn't know that was a thing.
Fuck it.
So I just, like, it had the whole second set of, like, jack cables, like the green, the blue, and the whatever the other one is. And I was like, oh shit, I finally have something to do with these other cables, and plugged them in. I was like, wow, it's like HD.
Yeah, well,
it looks so much clearer.
The original Xbox didn't ship with HDMI capability.
Oh. 360 did.
No, it didn't. That's what I meant.
Didn't it?
The original 360 only came with cords. I don't think the HDMI was introduced until the Gen 2.
Oh, crazy.
Because, like, it just wasn't widespread enough to justify it at the time, or because costs. The Elite had an HDMI port.
Now I'm wondering, because I feel like by the time it died, I definitely wasn't still using the jacks. There's no way.
Maybe it did have... I don't know. I think it shipped with it. I don't think it shipped with an HDMI. Remember HD DVDs? Oh boy, do I not.
Oh.
You guys need to watch what you're saying here, because I'm gonna make everybody watch the fucking Stop Skeletons from Fighting fucking documentary about HD DVDs and the Xbox 360 era and all that bullshit.
Oh god.
It's gonna take like 4 to 6 hours of our day. That's gonna be the next like movie night. I'm just gonna make you guys watch all these documentaries about the Xbox from 360 to the goddamn Xbox One launch.
I do remember when you made us all watch that documentary about Max Headroom.
That was funny.
That was funny.
That was
I really enjoyed that because I really liked the genesis of it, where you were just doing something and offhandedly said like a quote from that to yourself.
Are
you cracking up?
Are you cracking up?
That one, and then you kind of went quiet for about 10 seconds and just went.
You gotta watch that.
Do you guys know about? And I was
Max?
like, I know where the fuck this is going. Of course, I know.
We are gonna do the Max Headroom movie.
Fuck, that's a good one.
Which version are we gonna go?
Oy.
The original, probably.
Yeah, probably. If you're gonna do it, not like.
The next, speaking of movie movie night. Actually, I want to tell you ahead of time. The next, I think I haven't decided if we're gonna do it on stream or if we're gonna do it just in the Discord. But I think it's time to do the Kamen Rider Black marathon with all the Shadow Moon episodes, like the plot cut.
The ignore all the rest of it.
The ignore all the silly stuff.
The bits people remember.
Yeah, people remember the silly stuff too, but it's the
they do. But
the quintessential Black
is all about Shadow Man.
I haven't decided if we're gonna do that in 2 cuts, I think we're gonna do it in 2 sittings, but I don't know if we'll do it like Saturday, Sunday, or like one weekend and the next. I think I'll have to run a poll for that, but I haven't decided if we're gonna do it with commentary over it or just run it on the Discord.
Yeah, I wonder.
You don't get a choice in this.
No, of course. I'm wondering, have I seen all of those before?
Have you seen?
I've seen. No. Excepting. I was gonna say excepting Sarah, but no, I didn't even watch all of that. So, I have not seen a single show or series all the way through.
Come on, now. You don't have to watch them all the way through. They're not good.
No, that's exactly why.
You've seen Skyrider.
Not all of it.
Come on.
I didn't watch every single episode. We started out doing that, and we go about 20 episodes in, and we're like,
this sucks.
Jesus, how long is this show? What are the ones that we just looked up the synopsis, even just the titles? I think at some point we're like,
sounds
like it will be the £50 baby.
That sounds
we have to see that.
Fucking good one.
We had to watch that one. That was a fucking quality episode of Skyrider. It wasn't good.
Every godforsaken episode of Kamen Rider Stronger.
You did do that, I remember.
I tell you what, that was worth my fucking time.
Oh yes.
For sure. That's the only show a season I've watched straight all the way through.
Yeah.
It's because it's shorter than average. It's 30 something episodes.
Oh, that's much more manageable.
Yeah, I mean Amazon is only 20 something. No, I never finished Amazon.
No.
I didn't not intentionally or anything. I keep putting it off because it's I'll watch Amazon After Stronger, and then I watched Stronger, and I was like, wow.
I couldn't.
I can't.
I couldn't touch another one.
I'm still recovering from Stronger, frankly.
Yeah.
It's a really good show for this a 7-episode span. Not all at once. There's a couple episodes where a lot of episodes where General Jark or whatever.
General Shadow,
and then 1,000-Face Titan, 100-Face Titan.
When those
all
two
the episodes with Titan are good, and then there's the bit. It's 3 or 4 episodes where Titan and Jark are fucking beefing with each other. That's fucking the best. It's the highlight of the entire era of Kamen Rider to me.
Yes.
And then Titan dies, and then the show just stops being interesting.
Yeah.
Forever.
Never recovers.
Yeah. And then I watched every single episode and I was like, what? Yeah, great.
Damn.
That was worth my time.
I was so sure. It's not like I had anything else going on. I was so sure before we started, so I was like, when we get on stream, because I watched Shin Ultraman last night.
Oh, yeah.
I was so sure it was going to be that one Lonely Island song about Jack Sparrow where we're going to be trying to do something else, and I just keep interjecting and be like, hey, you know
stop? Could you stop right now? Can you take a 5-minute timeout for fucking talking about Lonely Island? 2022, that Jack Sparrow song from Lonely Island.
Yeah.
Can you time yourself out of chat for 5 minutes for that?
I actually can't. I actually can't do that because I'm not logged in.
No, but can you time Jay out of chat? Well, you're not in chat technically.
Exactly, no. I'm looking at chat, but I'm not there.
Can you time Voss out?
Fuck. Okay, you got me.
Now I was actually gonna do it. You would have. No, don't stop. You gotta do it bad by accident again. Revoke Jay's subscription. No, we can't talk about Shin Ultraman yet because I'm still waiting for it to come to theaters.
Is it gonna?
In America.
Oh, fuck you.
Supposedly.
Yeah, well, as long as it gets a Western Blu-ray release.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
It's
supposedly,
better.
But I haven't actually heard any I don't know if it's coming to Europe or not because I don't live there.
I definitely
check.
won't. 100% it won't. Nothing.
Aren't you closer?
You'd think.
Yeah, right.
But we're a much smaller market, so it's not worth the cost.
I haven't even heard anything like concrete.
Definitely, yeah. It's all a lot of assumption.
Well, I heard that they did announce it would be coming to American theaters, but it's not like it's getting a full country run. It'll probably only come to a few major cities for like 2 weekends. Yeah. I'm just hoping that I'm in or near enough to a major city. I'll drive like an hour to go see Ultraman or fucking whatever.
Yeah. Like, so long as there is some way to get an English subtitled release on Blu-ray, I'm happy.
I mean, the Blu-ray will come out eventually, and either there'll be official subs or people will sub it.
Yeah, it's true.
It'll come out eventually.
But
I prefer to see theaters if possible.
I want it in. I want to get a better TV to watch it because my TV's really. Are you fucking? I saw that,
bitch.
That's fucking funny.
At least you didn't do it for 5 minutes this time.
No, 5 seconds. Whatever. See, I did watch it because I was like, I've been waiting to see Shin Ultraman for fucking basically since it was announced, I think. I was like, I have to watch it, and like it came. I was not aware that the video quality of the subs that are available is not particularly amazing.
Yeah, it's.
I have a very high tolerance for watching shit in low fidelity. I watch stuff in 480 all the time.
Yeah.
Because my laptop is old and dying, and I don't like to press it too hard. So even though I've seen it, I'm like, I do want to see it again, but fucking properly.
But good
this time.
Didn't those sub Ultraman movies came out in Michigan because Flowers went and see them, so I'm gonna have to drive to Michigan to go see Shin Ultraman. Just drive across the lake to go see Ultraman. I can't come to work today. I gotta go see Ultraman.
The thing that actually reminded me of Shin Ultraman is that because you mentioned Black, and I had a look after I watched it. I was like, okay, a bunch of guys who were in that. Like actors and voice actors, I was like, I know, I've fucking seen you in something else.
In what, Shin Ultraman?
So I have to go check. Yeah, and turns out the captain of the Defense Force in Shin Ultraman is the guy who's playing Black Sun.
Really? He's kind of young.
Yeah. No, he's no.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like, that really surprised me. Also, Aruto's dad is in it.
What? Whatever.
Yeah. I'm amazed I didn't recognize. He looks so different with normal ears. But I was like, the whole time he was on screen, I was like, I fucking know I've seen you. And my brain was like, it's someone's dad. I know it's someone's fucking dad, but who is he?
There was a couple recognizable faces in Shin Godzilla.
There were, yeah. Although I don't remember them.
I don't remember who they were, but I remember recognizing them when I watched Shin Godzilla.
I genuinely thought the guy playing the Prime Minister in Shin Ultraman was the guy who played Zayas.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Which would have been so funny, but it wasn't. He is a regular of normal Ultraman, though. Like, he's been in a bunch of them. There was a few, like, regular Ultraman extras.
Yeah.
Looking at some of the voice actors for, like, some of the aliens, looking through their cast list for what they've done, I was kind of sick to see it. Seto Kaiba.
No, not Seto Kaiba.
Yeah, Seto Kaiba was there. I'm very coyly not mentioning who they're playing by name.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil
I mean,
anything.
I can guess. There's only so many iconic Ultraman aliens.
It's true, and you can more or less assume who's going to be.
I don't know the cast list other than that like whack ass spoiler that came up from like toy listings.
So
stupid.
Fucking insane.
Like 6 months ago, before the movie was even out.
I'm actually kind of glad I did know about that going in, because I feel like I would have just been fucking reeling from that for the whole end of the movie, and it would have like distracted me from what was going on, just being like, what the fuck are you talking about? What is going on? Bro, what's happening?
I gotta finish it. Remember when I had a really ambitious plan to watch every Godzilla movie before Godzilla vs. King Kong came out?
I do remember.
I could have
that.
done it. I just gave up
Could've.
because some of those movies really take it out of you. Especially
Yeah,
when
some
they
of them
suck.
have that thing where they suck and go on forever.
Some of those have this thing where they're boring as fuck.
Yeah. Just relentless.
I mean, I didn't skip any, so I had to watch like Godzilla Returns or like whatever. Like the second Godzilla movie that was like really bad and like everybody fucking hated. And, like some of the other ones are just boring. I haven't even gotten to the fucking Mechagodzilla area yet. It's tragic. And then I stopped doing that, and then I just watched Godzilla vs. King Kong anyway, and I was like, this movie isn't good. It wasn't. It could have been. It could have been.
It wouldn't have been too. It wouldn't have been too hard. I can give you one real concrete fucking suggestion to immediately improve the quality. That fucking whole side of the plot.
That could have just got cut.
None of that was necessary.
None of that
All
was
three of those characters.
Some of it was kind of offensive, actually.
Some of it was, in fact, actively detrimental to my enjoyment of the movie.
Yeah.
And was, in fact, almost entirely pointless to pursue.
It was entirely, but there was no reason. You literally could have cut that and lost nothing. Okay,
you could have cut and lost nothing, but I mean, even for having them there, they contributed one thing.
Yeah. Then the one thing was that guy who kept spouting off increasingly more racist conspiracy theories.
Yes. No, the one thing was when they spilled a drink on the controls of Mechagodzilla, and that stalled him for 1 second, and that was it. That's the thing they did.
Versus King Kong. I don't think.
You should have seen it by now.
You should have seen it.
You should have seen it by now. It was what, last year?
Yeah.
Earlier this year?
Wasn't it like 2020?
It wasn't that long.
No, it's 2021, wasn't it? It was like fall. It was like a year ago.
Yeah, you should have seen it.
You should know that Mechagodzilla's in that movie.
Yeah,
it wasn't even particularly surprising. Even though they didn't hint at it at all, when he showed up, I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
That figures.
Yeah. Mechagodzilla's in this? Fuck that monkey.
Fuck that monkey. Whatever. Because it's like, I feel like very early on, someone I was talking to was like, "Well, they're gonna have to have somebody else because they're not gonna."
It's always somebody else. It's whenever a movie is like dickhead versus dickhead, there's always a third asshole who shows up.
Yeah.
Except for like, well, that's mostly always true.
Yeah, it's all especially when it's two guys like Kong and Godzilla, because you know they got to keep going.
Yeah. There's got to be some third asshole who shows up.
It was really fucking funny how badly Godzilla got his shit beat.
His shit beat by a monkey.
His shit beat by a monkey, and worse by Mechagodzilla, actually. He got fucked up by that guy.
It was his first run, like he had to. It should have been King Caesar,
Yeah.
whatever. Like they already blew Ghidorah, like they couldn't. They didn't blow it. I mean, that movie was good, but
no, that movie, that was really good.
That's the highlight of what do they call those, MonsterVerse?
Yeah, I think
that was a pretty good movie. I rewatched that one before I watched Versus Kong, and I was like, this is pretty good. It holds up.
Yeah.
Pretty well. And then they like didn't follow up with any of those characters.
Obviously. Except for
the kid, right?
Except for the kid, because Millie Bobby Brown gets to be in things.
I forgot that was her.
Yeah.
That was such a bad choice to cut all the adult characters that I cared about in that movie.
Except for the kid who I didn't.
And then
also
I think
was
dad
way
was in
more
one
annoying.
Scene.
He was!
And I was like, that's the guy I care about. I want to go back to him.
No.
I think it was a scheduling issue or something. I don't really care anymore. Yeah, and also her character was like way more annoying in that movie.
Way worse.
And so then I didn't care about any of the new like human characters like on the other side.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
I don't remember them at all.
It was the scientist.
The cast was
and the
pretty
guy.
Good in.
They were that side of the story was they were actually like King of the Monsters.
That's what it was called, right? King of the Monsters. The second movie.
Yeah, that was good. Everyone in that was pretty good.
Is it the King of Monsters or is it King of the Monsters?
King of the Monsters, yeah.
Bryan Cranston wasn't. I actually didn't see the first movie.
Oh fuck! You shouldn't.
I'm gonna be honest.
I like it, but you're really not missing much.
No, that's why I heard and I was like, I'm fine. Because like
I enjoyed
the general gist of the first movie is literally just sort of given to you at the beginning of King of Monsters.
Yeah,
it's like Godzilla showed up in whatever.
Fought some guys.
And like the characters in the second movie are like only tangentially related to what happened in the first movie.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually matter to you if you didn't see the first movie because it doesn't like
the first movie was very much just kind of like testing the water to see if there was any sort of audience for this thing, which is why Godzilla's barely in it.
Ken Watanabe was in those movies.
He was.
He was really good in King of Monsters. He was really good in pretty much everything, but
yeah, except for when he was in Transformers.
Come on.
But no one's good in Transformers.
It's not his fault. He was in fucking Age of Extinction.
It's not his fault.
And
it's
the other
not
one.
his fault.
What was that one? Last Night? Dark Knight? Transformers The Dark Knight?
Transformers The Last Night, which is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
One of the worst movies.
One of actually the worst movies, which is shocking because I liked Age of Extinction.
No, you didn't.
Well, okay, relatively. in the way that, like, you know when you've only known bad things for a really long time, and then like a kind of better thing happens, and you're like, this is so good. It's like it was still bad, but it was just leagues above what I was used to at that point. I'm of the contentious opinion that I don't like any of the first three.
They're not watchable.
They're not. People will lie to you and tell you the first one was the best of those three.
It wasn't.
And that is fucking not true.
It wasn't. Like, I feel like if you put a gun to someone's head and like, what was the best Transformers movie? I would say like Dark of the Moon.
Three, yeah.
Is that Dark of the Moon?
That's Dark of the Moon. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like gun to my head. I would say Dark of the Moon. Like
it's got the least terrible shit in it, and like.
But then also, I would like ask you to kill me for like saying that a fucking Transformers movie was good.
If you gotta have one, it's that one. But people will be like, "Oh, well, the first one was okay, but then it got stupid." It's like the first one sucks so badly. It's fucking awful.
Have you watched it?
Literally, have you gone back and watched it, or
watch it again?
Fucking lying?
I promise you won't like it.
Watch it again with like. You have, I guarantee you, the people who say that have forgotten about all the shit with the hacker guy and the journalist lady and President John Voight. All of that has gone from their minds. They are remembering like the end scene in not.
They're certainly not remembering Shia LaBeouf's acting.
Fuck.
Or like
Sideways. They're not remembering that at all.
Anything else.
The in the fucking interminable scenes in the desert with those guys. Those guys who were in all of them, who are in fucking all of them, except for Age of Extinction, which is another reason that I liked it. They were not in Age of Extinction? They were not in that.
Why wasn't the movie just like no shit, but like why wasn't the movie just about those guys? Wouldn't that have not been fine?
It really would have.
Did we really need Sam Witwicky in those movies?
No, fuck no, and his annoying parents. Oh god, who I'd forgotten about till just then as well. The whole... I actually remember, this is the reason I really fucking hate the first Transformers movies, because I remember a lot of it. So I remember being a kid in 2007, and I loved Transformers even then. I was so excited for the notion of a big screen Transformers movie.
Everybody was excited in 2007 about the notion of a big screen Transformers movie. The
trouble is, I grew up watching like Armada and stuff, so my perception of what Transformers, I was completely fucked, because my whole perception of what Transformers even was like most of the time was just completely different from what this was, because this was a movie for guys who were children in the 80s and their kids then.
And me. And normies. Transformers, the movie,
and yeah,
like 2007
people who like
Transformers
know
movie
Transformers
was a movie for like normies who only kind of had affection for Transformers because it was a pop culture icon.
Yeah, exactly. Like they know about Transformers.
It wasn't meant for like Transformers super fans.
Oh god, no, not at all. Not at all. It was far enough away from the original, like the nostalgia cycle had kind of come around to it, and they're like, we can make more money off this. I mean, they'd been making money off it literally the whole time between. It was like, we can cash that check now, you know.
Yeah.
The people who bought the toys when they were children now probably have their own children who are old enough to take to see it.
Yep.
So we can like get double the fucking money.
Yes.
And I was checking the website. I was checking I was watching the teasers. They were doing that whole campaign of like the Mars rover and shit that was like in
Oh
the
yeah,
news
the
at the time,
fucking
like
viral marketing shit.
yeah, all that stuff, and it worked on me. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be crazy. And then I watched it, and I don't remember how I felt at the time. Seeing it, I must have seen that in theaters.
You felt like Linkin Park was the best band in the world, and that's all you took away from it.
Genuinely,
That's
actually, I you know what's fucking insane is, and I can't tell you when the shift happened, but I can tell you all through my teenage years, I did not like Linkin Park.
Well, that's just to be expected.
I don't know how that happened though, because I think
you didn't
somewhere
watch
around
enough fucking
18.
AMVs on YouTube.
I genuinely didn't, but like I had it in my head, I did not like actively disliked even Linkin Park, which is to me now.
Stupid.
I don't know how I managed that. I think Voss got me on. Someone was like, "Hey, you should listen to this Linkin Park song." And I was like, I don't really like Linkin Park. And he was like,
Yes, you do.
You should fucking listen to it." And I listened to it, I was like,
Hey,
it's pretty good.
is this music?
Cloverfield, the Cloverfield trailer.
Whatever.
That
didn't happen.
That didn't happen. I do remember Cloverfield.
I want to pivot. I just remember that Age of Extinction is the one with fucking goddamn Mark Wahlberg in it.
Yes,
That
and
movie
Last
was
Night as
like
well,
not good, but it was like really celebrated at the time
It was
for like not being Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah,
Like let's
pretty
not
much.
be let's not fucking twist words here. It was celebrated at the time for not being a Shia LaBeouf.
For not making us watch that.
Yeah, it was still Michael Bay.
Hateful.
Also, it was a lot. I think there was a lot more Optimus.
Yeah, there was a whole redesign of all the guys. They were more
Galvatron was in
colorful
that
and
movie.
kind of. Galvatron was in that movie, which I was.
The Dinobots.
I
were
was
in that
happy
movie.
about. The Dinobots were all over the marketing, and then
they weren't in it. Yeah.
But that's, you know what? Fine, I don't give a shit about the Dinobots.
It's celebrated something being optimistic and hating women less. Yeah, I mean, I guess. And then like Bumblebee came out, and people like that. I guess.
Bumblebee is good.
I didn't watch it at that point. I don't care.
No, Bumblebee. No, if you're gonna, I would recommend it genuinely because it's in fact entirely not one of those films at all.
It's like
it's a different guy.
It's
only
like totally different.
It was
like a
left
reboot,
kind of
isn't it?
open. Kind of. It's like there's enough stuff in common that you could work it in if needs be, but they also like if it was really popular they could have taken it its own direction. But it is like it's just like an actual cast of like
Characters.
well written, for that kind of movie, like characters you can kind of relate to and understand, and Bumblebee is there, and there's only 2 Decepticons in it because like it's a cast of like 3 robots.
This animated?
Yeah, basically it's like as close to that spirit of having like kind of actual characters out of the robots, and like arcs and stuff, as opposed to just horrific robot violence.
Hey, by the way,
all the time.
What was the justification in Age of Extinction for ditching all of the original characters from the first 3 movies? But not the Autobots, I mean humans.
The humans not mentioned. Not
even
at
all? They just don't straight up?
Not even a little. Not either the military guys, not Sam, not any of them.
That's
None of them. They
awesome!
Genuinely.
At least in like Revenge of the Fallen, they fucking had a throwaway line for why Megan Fox wasn't in the movie anymore.
Yeah.
Or was that a Dark of the Moon?
That was Dark of the Moon. Yeah,
they had like a throwaway line about how she dumped his sorry ass or whatever.
Which good for her, honestly.
Which is hilarious. That's my favorite. It's not actually. It always annoys me, but it's the funniest thing in a bad way when they can't get an actor back or they don't want a character anymore, and so they just like have, especially when it's the love interest, and they have them break up off screen, and it's really, girl,
so
you went through the end of the world twice and you dumped him?
You bought
That's
that. You were there like crying at his chest when he came back from the dead, and then between movies you were like, actually fuck this,
and you fucking dumped him? Like, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
You should be like pack bonded for life.
Yeah, I thought you kind of went through some shit.
I can't really think of any other examples, but that's something that's always like irritated me.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't happen much, but whenever it does,
happen
it's
a
like
lot. But it happens a lot. It actually happens with like mid crap movies like this when like they fire the female lead or like whatever happens.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't want to be in it anymore. And they're like, yeah, and that bitch fucked off and we hate her now. And we'll never speak. You know, it's like it was more heinous in this movie, but Indiana Jones is what I was about to segue into. It happens in every Jones movie. It happens in every Indiana Jones movie where whoever the Bond girl is just fucks off between movies.
Gone. Mostly
they don't ever even mention what happens to her.
Nope.
The justification for that is always that Indy is just such a jackass that even though they've like been through all of that, he's just an unlikable person.
Yeah.
In that sense, it never bothered me too much because I always got the implication that like after everything was said and done, it just doesn't work out with that guy because he's just kind of a cunt. It's also like, I mean, like you don't even have to mention it, but that is like the whole Bond girl thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost every Bond girl just disappears at the end of the movie, except for like the 2 or maybe 3 times when they were murdered at the end of the movie.
Yeah, there's at least I might be 3.
At least 2.
I know of 2.
There was the one in. There's the one in Casino Royale.
Casino Royale.
Or is that
was
the one after? It's the one with the new Bond.
Movies.
They're the first girl for those movies.
The first one,
killed,
and then
like
she
next,
gets killed.
2 movies are like him. I guess being sad about it. I didn't watch the rest of it. I only watched Casino Royale. I'm not a very big James Bond fan. I did go through a period in my teens where I endeavored to watch like every James Bond movie just for the sake of like culture, I guess.
That's rough because then you have to start with like almost all of the. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, watched all of them.
Jesus.
I don't think I watched I don't think I finished the bit.
No.
Because the thing is that when you watch James Bond movies back to back to back to back to back,
don't do that.
It's the same fucking thing every fucking time.
And I know that Thunderball?
Dude, you think I could differentiate what movies I saw?
There's
no fucking way. Even the ones that people are like, these are the good James Bond movies. I'm like, it's the fucking same as the bad ones. There's no differential between Dr. No and fucking Goldfinger.
No, they're
the same movie.
The early ones are insanely boring.
Because they're based on really boring, dry British novels.
Yeah, incredibly dry. The good ones are where they just do what the fuck ever.
The good ones are the N64 game. Just a game.
Yes.
But there's like one movie, and I don't remember which Bond it was, but at the end of the movie, he's like driving along, like he's married to the Bond girl, and they're like driving along, and she gets fucking sniped in the car.
And that is genuinely that actually is that is the best James Bond movie.
Which one was that?
It's the worst title, strangely. It's called On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yeah. You don't think?
And it is genuinely actually the best James Bond movie because he's like.
You don't think that's a worse title than Octopussy?
Okay, well it's harder to say because it's fucking faffy, but Octopussy is actually probably the worst one. No, Octopussy, I have watched Octopussy and I couldn't tell you one fucking thing.
I couldn't tell you one thing about any of them.
Yeah, I know, because you watched them all in a fucking row, you maniac!
What is the proper amount of time between Bond movies so you can retain what happens in them?
They come out years apart, so at least that.
I just spent the next 30 years of my life watching James Bond movies.
No, you don't need to. Just watch, like...
the good ones.
Just don't watch all of them.
Just don't watch James Bond movies.
Just watch On Her Majesty's Secret Service again on its own. The good thing about that is because all of the sex he has in that, the women start it, which is actually really good.
It's really feminist of you to say that.
Compared to all of the other ones from around then I can think of. Like, it's like none of Bond being like actually just a real creep, which he fucking is.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
A lot of them. There's none of that. It's like all of the women actually are like kind of in control of the situation all the time. I bet people fucking hated that when it came out because it's the first time it was a guy who wasn't Sean Connery, and they were like,
Moore, right?
No, it was the one time it was George Lazenby.
Oh right, yeah, nobody remembers that guy.
Nobody remembers him, which is fucking weird because he's actually like he's good and enjoyable, and not like a, kind of a sex offender in the movies.
Yeah.
Which
I'm
sure is why people didn't like him.
Yeah. They kicked that guy right the fuck out. Didn't they kick him out and bring back Sean Connery
yes,
like one or two
yes,
more times,
they did.
And then they moved on to Roger Moore?
Then they did, yeah. And which is so fucking funny. Like, imagine the backpedal. Just to publicly be like, oh, no, we fucked up. Hey, Sean, do you want to come make Diamonds Are Forever?
Come on back here, Sean.
With the guy who was like the bookend narrator from Rocky Horror as Blofeld.
Whatever.
What
I can't remember which guy it was. Fucking. Do you remember? I think it was Roger Moore. There's like a fucking scene in one of his earlier movies where he like gets like knocked over by an explosion or some shit, and he stands up and he's like, "That never happened to the other guy."
That's literally in. I don't know if there might be another time, but literally at the start of On Her Majesty's Secret Service, the lady who's like the lady who he ends up marrying at the end of it is like she's being, I forget, she's like she's doing something like some guys jump her like to try and capture her or whatever, and he jumps out and helps, and like he goes to do like the James Bond thing, and she just fucking kicks him into the water and runs off, and he literally just stands up and looks at the camera. He's like, I don't think that ever happened to the other guy.
Fucking funny.
And then the titles go, and it's like, and that's the first time it was a different guy as well. So
fucking
it's like
funny. Maybe they shouldn't have done that.
Maybe they shouldn't have done
in
that.
Retrospect.
I like it now, but they kind of stacked the deck against him a little bit. To
maybe
be like, and here's a Bond who gets no bitches and stacks no paper. But Kojak is there.
Good for him.
Telly Savalas as Blofeld, which is a fucking insane cast.
That's not a name.
Which one?
Whatever you just said.
Well, not Blofeld.
That's not a name.
Ernst Stavro Blofeld?
No.
That is his name. It's not a name, but it is.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
No. It sucks because all the Bonds who I actually like have like there's 3 movies between both of them.
Yeah, it's because most James Bond movies suck.
Yeah, there's honestly there's George Lazenby who was in that one, and then Timothy Dalton had 2,
and they kicked his ass out.
Yeah, and neither of them are particularly great.
Nope.
The first one is less great than the second one, but it does have a theme done by Aha, who did Take On Me. I don't know why, but I do know that.
They were just doing any old shit back then with those fucking
the
movies.
80s were not a good time for James Bond in the slightest. Christopher Walken was in one.
That was good.
With Roger Moore. And, what's her name? With the flat top.
Oh, I don't fucking know.
Grace Jones?
Yes.
No?
Maybe?
Yes. Maybe? That's just the name that popped into my head and I just said it out loud. Let me see. Yes, Grace Jones.
It's a good time for Bond right now, let me tell you that. Everybody... No. Hasn't been a good time. Do we still need... Maybe we should just get rid of... Like, we don't need it anymore.
Stop. We don't need it anymore.
Who cares anymore?
I didn't even see the last one.
No offense to Mr. Craig, but fuck off.
I thought he fucked off like ages ago is the thing. He's done 2 movies since I thought he fucked off.
He did fuck off, but they like fucking shackled him to the franchise and were like, you're not done yet, my friend.
Hey. I mean, I think I haven't seen No Time to Die.
Yeah, that came out last year.
Yeah, but I'm given to understand he might, in fact. I mean, no, he has fucked off because
I'm pretty sure he fucked off this time.
Yeah, they're like the next one, which I swear to fucking God, I've seen an announcement of who's playing the next Bond like a couple of times.
It's never been for real. It's just
it never sticks.
Bullshitting.
I swear I've seen it. I mean, I know it hasn't, but like I swear I've seen it said like in such certain terms, and then it's just like, oh, by the way, the next Bond might be like this, might be like that, and I'm like,
there's more people in the running for James Bond than there are for fucking Doctor Who.
Oh, Jesus. Well,
another thing we don't need anymore.
No, well, it's the 60th anniversary, and
shut up.
I would like it. Well, it's next year.
Did we get a new actor yet?
Yeah.
They announced that?
Yeah, they did.
Who is that? It's already gone from my head. Yeah. Mr. Alba has been in rumors to play Bond for like at least 5 years, though.
He really has.
It's more just wishful thinking at this point, isn't it?
Who the fuck is he played by? Oh shit, I'm not gonna be able to say that right.
Doctor Who.
Ncuti Gatwa.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten... I'm glad that Wikipedia includes a phonetic pronunciation, because I wouldn't have got anywhere close. Because it's spelled Ncuti.
Yeah.
Not have thought that said Ncuti, because I'm not very good with that kind of thing. Russell T. Davies making it again, though.
Listen, I don't want to be mean.
It's over.
I don't want to be mean to Mr. Davies, but I hope this season sucks so everybody can, like, stop pretending that he was like, I mean, he wrote some good stuff, but let's not pretend that his era was, like, objectively better than anything that any of the other assholes ever wrote. It really isn't.
No.
It really wasn't. Like, he wrote some of the good, I mean, just by default, he wrote some of the best stuff of the modern era.
Yeah, because he was there for
so did Moffat, stuff. To be fair.
Yeah.
Moffat also had his moments in his later seasons.
Hey, you know who hasn't had his moments?
Yeah, my friend Chris.
Yeah, my good friend Chris. Who also did write Torchwood, if you recall.
Yeah, I remember because everyone was like, it's the guy who wrote Torchwood. And I was like, this is going to suck.
I seem to recall everyone being like, it's the guy who wrote Broadchurch. This is going to be amazing.
And then somebody else would chime in and said, he also wrote fucking Torchwood. And everyone's like,
he did also
and guess what? It sucked just like Torchwood did.
Fucking sucked.
Chris, what's his name? Chibnall?
Chris Chibnall.
Chris Chibnall, the current head writer of
current showrunner of Doctor Who. Yeah, only till... Actually, until... Well, he's almost gone. He's out the door,
Christmas?
Now? No, before.
Are you done? Regeneration hasn't happened yet, has it?
No, but it's soon.
Is it not soon. Christmas or New Year or some of that bullshit?
No. Not
even have the dignity to have a Christmas special?
We haven't been doing those for years.
Oh, yeah.
Series
sad.
13.
That's sad.
Okay, what are you talking about? What do you mean October 2022? We're in it.
Where is it? Let's end.
Bro, it's the 5th. Bro, you've got... Bro, you've got 4 weeks to actually get this episode out and there isn't a fucking air date listed. It just says October. What? Wow, no. Ooh. Every time I look up, this happens every now and again whenever I get thinking, I look up the episodes on Wikipedia.
And you get mad?
Because they have the list. No, they have the thing, right? They have the number of stories overall. Number in series, title, directed by, written by, original air date. UK viewers in the millions.
Oh man, I remember we did this before.
Yes, we've done this before. And guess what? You'll be happy to hear that the trend I observed then, where literally every single one is lower than the last one.
Straight free fall.
I recall then, I don't remember when this was. It couldn't have been that long ago. But we were down in the 4-something.
Yeah.
Right? And Legend of the Sea Devils, which came out this April, was the Easter special.
You get Easter specials but not Christmas specials?
I fucking guess so. So one in January, one in April, and one in October. And Legend of the Sea Devils clocked in at a cool 3.47 million viewers, which is actually shocking.
That's quite bad.
That's genuinely... I sort of can't believe that.
Is that domestic or worldwide?
UK. Just
okay.
UK. So presumably
that's domestic.
A little
better. I don't know. Americans don't care.
Including,
that era has passed.
Yeah, that was a very.
Doctor Who used to go on another 10-year hiatus.
And
I'm not
considering.
kidding.
It needs to just leave it. We've done it.
It's like a national treasure. You can't just not have Doctor Who.
Oh, you could just stop.
It's just like
it was gone. It was gone for years.
10
years. Gone for years. And there was nothing. And you know what? That was fine.
It wasn't though.
Fine.
The national identity.
Fuck the national identity. Who gives a shit?
It has to be a James Bond movie in production at all time. There has to be Doctor Who in production at all time.
At all times. 3.47 million. No one cares
People
anymore.
will care now. No.
By the way, I know... I've definitely... I think I said this before, because The Flux was only 6 episodes. That's series 13.
Talk about The Flux.
Yeah. I definitely said this before, but because it was all technically one long story,
Yeah.
and the way that the story number thing works for multi-parters is they all get the same number and just share.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 297A to F for that
Right.
whole series. And the reason they did that is because that means the 3 specials we're having this year make it 298, 299, and then The Power of the Doctor, which is fuck off, by the way.
Fuck off, by the way.
Chibnall and Whittaker's last one is story number 300, and then it's into the 60th anniversary.
Bullshit.
And he did that on purpose, I fucking
Is
promise.
13 gonna be in that?
That would actually be beyond hysterical if she isn't.
Gone and then immediately comes back. It would be funny either way.
Actually, there's no way where that isn't funny. But,
yeah, there's no way that's not funny. She regenerates and then comes back anyway.
Well, she's not going straight to the 14th Doctor anywhere, I'm told, by all accounts.
What do you mean?
I know.
What does that mean?
Well, David Tennant's
The Veil Yard.
David Tennant, fucking shut up. I'm not even acknowledging you said that.
You will acknowledge it.
No!
It's time!
No!
It's been time!
We've missed it.
We missed
We've
it!
missed it. We've gone past it because it was somewhere between the 12th and the final one, and we fucking had that. And there is no final one, it's just going to
Except
keep
it's not
going
even
forever.
that true. It's not even true anymore because the numbers are all fucked up now.
The numbers are all fucked up. They mean nothing anymore.
Kill yourself.
Kill yourself. Chris,
kill yourself.
Chris, kill yourself. Get the fuck out. Get out. Fuck you.
I'm just saying.
October
it's been over.
2022.
Do you think in the writer's room for
When?
Doctor Who there was like a fucking furious chairs throwing at each other debate about whether or not to do the Veil Yard at that point?
Oh my god, it must have come up, you
Do
know.
you think like came to blows and shit? Like,
Oh fuck. I mean, when was...
that would be...
Actually,
what was that,
the numbers
2?
have been fucked up for a while anyway, because 11 was not actually 11.
11 was 12.
11 was 12. I hated that so much in his last episode when he was talking to Clara about that.
Numbers?
And he was talking, and he was like, "Yeah, well, I didn't change my face, but I still regenerated." I
Oh,
was like,
fuck, that
don't
was so...
mean that.
Oh, that was
Don't
so...
mean
I
that.
forgot what you were talking about, because I was like, oh yeah, the War Doctor. No.
No, not even more. Fuck, even more. That's right.
He's
He
off
said that
by
as well. He was
2.
like, "I didn't call myself the Doctor,
But
and
it
also
still
I
counts,
didn't change my face."
jackass!
But like, it still used up the numbers. But guess what?
In the
thing
fucking
where they-
shit that fucking 10 did in Journey's End or whatever.
Yeah.
That wasn't Journey's End, whichever the other one. No, that was Journey's End.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit what it was
fuck, I
called.
remember. Fuck it, that one. Yeah.
9
yeah.
was 10, 11 was... Actually, 11 would have been 13, right?
13.
Technically.
Oy. Yeah.
Because there was 8, and then technically the 9th regeneration would have been War, and then 9 would be the 10th regeneration, and then 10 would be the 11th regeneration, and then the other 10 would be the 12th regeneration, which would make 11 the 13th regeneration, which is why he was already out at that point.
Yes. Which is why he just fucked off.
Now that I'm thinking about it, since I'm pissed off about this, that bit with the silence when he started to regenerate, that was fake, right? He wasn't actually regenerating.
He couldn't have done that.
But because he couldn't have done that, except
it's not possible.
Except it's not
the
like,
amount of
except that like that lore wasn't written.
Because there was no War Doctor, so he still had one more.
And at that point, I don't think anybody considered that shit that 10 did to count.
Yeah. So it was entirely... The amount of times he used some regeneration energy, just offhandedly.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, it's a couple hundred years off my life or whatever.
Yeah, you're done. You're out. The tank's empty.
Tank's empty, boss.
But, well, actually, you know what? All of those problems are easily resolved by the fact that he actually has... No. He didn't even need
no, don't even say it. Don't even say it.
But it's true.
No, it's not.
They haven't backpedaled on it.
No,
They've
it's not
in
true.
fact
That didn't
kept
happen.
bringing it up.
No, it didn't happen.
They've kept talking about it.
That didn't happen.
It did.
No, it didn't.
It did. I know it. It's the fucking worst, but it doesn't
happen.
At least
I didn't watch that
neatly-
episode.
Neither did I. None of us did. Actually, I can tell you how many people watched that.
I can tell you
fucking
exactly how
episode.
many people watched that episode.
Fucking Jesus, how many people?
What do
4.69
What is
million
it called?
people.
Empty Child? What is it actually
The Timeless Children.
called?
The Timeless Child
The
is
Empty
the
Child
is
is
the
the fucking Night Doctor episode.
gas mask. Yeah,
Way better.
which was
episode,
good.
By the way.
Way better. That's the one that scared the fucking life out of me when I watched it as a child.
Yeah.
The bit where the guy does like his face turns into a gas
Oh,
mask.
that's
I had to
freaky.
leave the
Yeah.
I had to leave the building.
The whole building?
Oh, I didn't have a TV, did I? So I was watching at a friend's house. I was like, I'm going home.
I don't
I
know.
can't
I'm
be
gonna
dealing
go
with
home.
that. Get out.
Yeah,
Oh,
the new lore is that what is it? Time Lord regeneration comes. The Doctor is the progenitor of all Time Lord regeneration or whatever, right? I don't even. It makes me upset just to say it out loud.
Yes. Genuinely,
The Doctor is
actually,
the
for
most
real.
specialist fucking guy in the whole universe.
Yeah, not even from this universe. It actually came from another one.
That's okay. Whatever.
Yeah,
But
I
not
did
that
watch the
other
Flux.
universe. A different other universe.
No, a different other universe.
We can't talk about that universe anymore. That's off limits forever.
No, that's done.
I
That's
like
done,
how
but there's other different
I love the way that Doctor Who works in the modern, because it's like we can reference whatever we want from the classic era for the most part.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things from the earlier modern era that is completely off limits to even think about mentioning. You can't just go and start dropping bullshit about like Rose or whatever.
No,
The Doctor can't offhandedly mention Martha.
No,
That's not allowed. Not like it's strictly forbidden, but it kind of is. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if there's
it's
an actual
just
rule in
never
the
coming
writers'
up.
room that's like you can't talk about, like 13 cannot talk about what happened to 9. She can talk
No.
about like 6 or 5 or like whatever, but she can't talk about 9. It's too close. You know?
Yeah, and everyone would be like, "Hey, where's 9? Hey, how come Chris Eccleston wasn't in that special?"
No, don't worry about it.
No. We
Like,
know.
you know, they
I know.
can't bring up things from an era where like that writer is still conceivably around. When's the last
Yeah.
time the Ood were mentioned?
You're gonna laugh.
Oh no, really?
You're gonna laugh
Did they really put Ood in? Did they really bring the
They-
Ood back?
for one bit.
Whatever.
in
Okay, that's
the-
hilarious.
In the what was it? The fucking Revolution of the Daleks, the one where Jack was there.
There was not Ood in that.
Because the Doctor gets arrested by the
The
Jadoon.
fucking
have been in it.
Jadoon.
Holy shit! That I'd completely forgotten. They had a whole episode named with them and everything. Yes. Okay, so you can put them in it.
But it's like
Blah,
it's
blah, blah,
selective,
blah.
and it has to mean something,
Yeah.
and it has to be something that they can milk for views.
The
Hey,
Jadoon
remember the
are just
Jadoon?
first- Remember the Jadoon? Anyway, when she's
But it's
in
not like in that episode where he's like,
big
"Yeah, me and my
space
friend
prison.
fucking Martha."
No, exactly. But when
Yeah.
they're in space prison, when she's in like the fucking cafeteria equivalent,
Yeah.
there's an Ood with the red eyes there, which fucking
That
don't
doesn't even make sense.
That doesn't, because an Ood in a normal Ood would not be in jail, so it has to be a fucked up
How
evil
long has that
but
Ood been there?
The only way, there's not a lot of ways the Ood can turn evil.
How long has that
They
Ood
have
been
to.
there?
How long has that Ood been there? Is he? Do they know
Do they know
like,
that he's possessed
'cause,
by
like,
the devil?
that he's possessed? Because either he's fucking trying to kill people as a way to be freed from indentured servitude for his entire species, or he's actually possessed by Satan. And that's
What
the
a
only
good
two ways to
episode.
continue. So fucking funny for that. What an insane thing
What
to
a
do.
great episode. And it's not like there's. I'm not presuming there's a hard rule, but like there does seem to be a soft rule where it's we can bring back self-referential stuff for older seasons, like old classic stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
11 wasn't making a habit of going around making referential statements to things that 10 did.
No.
And if it was something special.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, it's because I think it's just because people expect that if you reference something that they remember watching, that it has to mean something.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, you know what? Actually, I have remembered one exception to this, which was perhaps the funniest one.
Yeah.
And entirely unnecessary. In the last episode of the last 12 season with Clara, where the whole thing is them in that diner.
Oh yeah.
Like he's just recounting things, and he gets like just before the end of the episode, he gets up, he's strumming on his guitar, and he looks around, he's like, I came here before, and he's like, with Amy and Rory.
Fuck
we
off!
sat over
Didn't
there.
Say that? I don't remember that.
I almost certainly mentioned him by name. He was like, he points to the table. He's like, we sat over there. He's like, didn't this used to be on the other side of the lake? Because it's the one from the astronaut.
Whatever.
Which is just because it's the diner set that they have. But
diner
someone would have mentioned it and been like, hey,
Yeah.
how come it looks like that diner? So it's just like,
What the fuck ever?
he's like, it's like, with Amy and Rory. And that's like the only time I can think of them just offhandedly saying it. But I remember at the time being like, fucking shut up. What do you mean? With Amy.
But they can mention old shit, like really old shit, and it's always funny
The-
when they do that.
The thing that, I remember at one point you just offhandedly sent me the thing where he has the fucking seal of
cyber
the High
controller.
Council from fucking.
Yes, the seal of the High Council in the fucking cyber controller episode.
When
He just
where
pulls
he's
it
like,
out, and he's like,
he's
yeah.
like, I took it off. He's like, I took it off the Master in the Dead Zone, and it's the fucking thing from the Five Doctors. Diseased shit
Made
to
me
do.
so
He
mad.
kept that whole time.
But there's also a certain list of that too, because you can't go around mentioning Bucket to Susan. Ever?
Shit. Except no, but they do
when he
sometimes.
does sometimes.
Except when
and it
they
pisses you
do,
off
and
every
it's
time.
like in the Rings of whatever the fuck, that one with the big speech, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, I came here with my granddaughter," and Clara's like, "What?"
And then
Who?
every
You
single
can't mention
person watching
Jenny.
is like, and what happened to her? And
Yeah,
what
what
happened
did
to
happen?
Susan?
And what did happen to Susan? There's a few answers to that.
None of them are canon.
Probably not.
No,
You can't ask
there's no definitive canon answer to that question.
No, there isn't. There's actually, it's never been addressed in the TV show.
No, it's never been addressed in TV shows. Susan's been brought up or shown or otherwise alluded to several times in the last 10 years. It's never been resolved. I mean, there was literally the episode, The Doctor's Daughter, about that clone thing.
I was just gonna say.
But he
Also, we don't bring
offhandedly
her up
mentions that
anymore.
his entire family died. But I was like, and does that include Susan? Like,
because
what happened?
I mean, she wasn't involved.
She wasn't even on Gallifrey. She shouldn't even. Why are we talking so much? Why do I remember so much about the lore of Doctor Who? Oh yeah, Susan wasn't on Gallifrey during the war. Why do I know that?
Well, because you know he left her fucking ass on Earth.
What a
Very
bitch.
famously just abandoned her in fucking Dalek bombed out Earth 2150 AD.
What a
Funny motherfucking guy. The thing,
Keep going.
the thing in the 12 episode where it's like, oh, as long as you got, like, I think Bill says something about, like, as long as you got pictures of someone, it's kind of like they're still around, and on his desk he's got a picture of River, understandable.
Yeah.
And then of Susan,
Yeah.
and it's like,
what does that mean?
well, hey, you know, Doc.
What does that fucking mean?
You could, like,
You can go.
chose.
You have a time machine.
For one, you have a time machine. You could just go visit, you know. She's on Earth. You know where the fuck she is.
You left her there, boss.
Bro, you chose to leave your granddaughter.
Always a good
on
thing
Earth
when the
by
Doctor.
yourself.
It doesn't happen anymore. It always has to be a big emotional affair now. But back in the day, he really just abandoned some of those cons. He really just tossed those cons out the airlock and didn't come back.
They just leave sometimes.
They just leave. Sometimes they literally just walk out, like fucking
Yeah.
Like Nessa, whoever did that to 5. She just straight
Oh my
walked
god,
out.
she did. She
She's
was
like,
like, I
"I've had
can't be
enough."
doing this anymore. I'm fucking sick of it.
Deadass was like,
Gone.
I've had enough. Fuck you.
Enough.
I'm out.
Yeah. And him and Adric were just like, damn, that sucks. I guess we just gotta leave.
Wasn't that after Adric died?
Not Adric. Turlo.
Yeah.
Turlo, I mean.
I think that was after
that
Adric
guy.
died.
Yeah, when Adric got blown
only
up by the
memorable
meteor
thing
that
about
killed the
Adric.
dinosaur. Can you believe that? Yes. Earthshock is a fucking amazing series.
Earthshock sucks so
Earthshock
bad.
fucking sucks. So
Earthshock is
bad.
one of the worst serials I've ever watched.
It's really quite abysmal.
Such a bad Cyberman serial.
Oh,
Where
it's
their
just
their
awful.
plan was to go back in time and assimilate. Was that their plan to go back in time and assimilate humans?
I think.
I need to look this up because that's
Yeah, what the
if that
fuck
is the
actually?
Earthshock.
What happened in
If that's
Earthshock?
because that is the plot of First Contact, the Star Trek movie.
It is.
So
That
I'm
is the
wondering
plot
if
of
I'm
First
just.
Contact.
The series is mainly set on Earth and a deep space freighter in 2526. In the serial, Cybermen plot to wipe out the Earth, where a conference of multiple planets are forming to plan a military pact to defeat the Cybermen in war. Okay.
It's always this. It's always like some huge galactic war involving the Cybermen that we never ever fucking see, which is so funny, and they're always losing.
Yeah, because
They-
the Cybermen.
Because the Cybermen fucking suck. The one time they show up in the Fourth Doctor's thing, and it's all about them trying to destroy the planet where people get all the gold from. Fucking the Cybermen in that are just appalling, by the way. Like, I love their design. It's actually my favorite of the old style look for them, but like everything they do is so stupid.
My favorite is the design that was introduced in Earthshock, that Fifth Doctor era.
Oh, the class. That is a really
It's a classic.
really good
It's a
one.
classic for me.
Really
Peter Davidson
incredible.
has stated that Earthshock was one of his 3 favorite serials to work on. That's great for you,
Fun.
Pete. You know what? I'm really
Yeah.
glad that you like that, Pete. I hated it. It sucked, Pete. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, Kaiju! I can't believe I almost didn't see you talking about Chameleon.
Chameleon.
Yes, he did lose a companion because nobody could.
Oh
figure out how to
shit,
work the
Chameleon.
animatronic.
Yeah. Ooh.
Fucking Chameleon. Oh yeah.
A lot of those people died.
Yeah.
A lot of companions died.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant the people who knew how to operate Chameleon, because a lot of them did.
A lot of them died too.
A lot of them died, which is why that fucking thing sat in the Doctor's cupboard, despite being a sentient robot. He just kept that shit in the broom closet.
Mm-hmm. I think my favorites are the ones where, like Sarah Jane, where he just dead ass abandoned them. He just completely forgets about them, like in the midst of regenerating.
Bang.
Which I think
That's
is what
it.
happened. I actually don't remember. That's not exactly what happened to Sarah Jane. 4 abandoned her
Sarah
somewhere.
Jane, he did. The thing is,
Something was happening.
he got summoned to Gallifrey, and it's like you can't bring other
You can't
people
bring
there.
people there except for when
She
you
was-
are allowed to.
Except for when you are. She was doing that thing that Sarah did with 4, where she was being like, he was just being fucking off in his own space. She was like, if you keep fucking ignoring me, I'm gonna leave.
And then
Packing
she
my
did.
things. I'm gonna go. And she comes out and he's like, she leaves the room to go fucking pack to get his attention.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, how do I tell her I have to send her away? And she comes out and it's like, right, I'm ready to go now. He's like,
Okay,
What?
get up then.
how'd you know? And she was like, well, I didn't mean it. Hold on.
What a fuck ass way to get rid of a character.
Oh, yeah. And then he explains the thing. She's like, oh, I guess. I mean, but surely he's like, no, wait, we're on Earth. Get out.
Get up. And then he didn't
Leave.
go back for her.
And then he didn't go back for her. And then didn't
And then,
see her
like,
again.
40
until
years later, in that episode with 10,
School
she's like,
reunion.
bro, you fucking left me there and didn't come back. And he's like,
And it
I
was-
really don't have an excuse for that. I'm going to be honest with
No.
you.
He in theory, the idea was he left her on her road, like outside her house, and it was
Yeah, he
actually
didn't.
like the other end of the country.
Yeah. But he's like, she's like, you didn't come back for me. And he's like, I don't really have an excuse for you for that one, boss. To be
Yeah.
honest, I don't really have an excuse for that one.
By the way, bit of trivia, which I know, is that School Reunion is the first post-regeneration episode that Tennant filmed.
Really?
So, like, one of his first scenes
with
was
Sarah
doing that whole
Jane.
thing with Sarah Jane, which must have been absolutely mortifying for him.
Yeah, seriously.
No pressure, huh?
No pressure,
Like,
but here's one of the most iconic fucking faces in the franchise.
yeah, and you're the first regeneration that basically all of the modern audience watching will have seen. So,
Yeah. You're the new guy. Go at it,
do your
boss.
best. Yeah.
What a fucking deep end.
Jesus, he was really good in School Reunion, actually.
He was really good in that one, yeah.
That's a really great one. And Giles from Buffy is in that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And Nova, if you're still here, can you time me out again for talking about Buffy? For even mentioning
For even
Buffy the
mentioning it.
Vampire Slayer.
You know,
But
that
even
guy,
speaking that
that
name-
fucking greenlit that goddamn Sarah Jane spinoff that wearing for a couple seasons.
Oh, Sarah Jane.
Sarah
Adventures?
Jane Chronicles or whatever.
Chronicle. I won't say Chronicles, but I think it's Adventures.
It might
Which-
be Adventures. It had K9 in it.
It did have K9 in it.
Nobody
and it
really
had...
particularly watched it.
No, it's fine.
That was that era where Doctor Who had to have a spin-off all the time.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Thanks, Nova.
Because there was Sarah Jane, and then there was Torchwood. There was something during... Was there a spin-off during 11?
No. Yes.
Wasn't there a spin-off
but...
with the kids in the school or some bullshit? For Clara's kids at the school?
Fuck.
Is that during 12, though, right?
Fuck, that was 12, which God knows what the hell that was.
Nobody watched that at all.
Shit with a stick.
Yeah, Torchwood. They did Torchwood. That was the spin-off with Jack.
Yeah, Torchwood. Which
Probably
was,
the most watched
was
spin-off, and it was...
bad.
Pretty bad. I'm not gonna
Very
sugarcoat
horny.
it.
Very horny. Very horny show. A lot of fucking in that.
A lot of fucking in that.
A lot of sucking and fucking.
And they had the Torchwood characters appear in Journey's End for 10 seconds.
Oh, sick behavior. Why did they do that?
And then after Torchwood was done, because they basically got fucked for having bad ratings, they did like 2 like multi-part serials that were like really pumped up the drama and like killed like the entire cast.
Awesome.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Incredible.
There's that bit in the one where like fucking Jack is like standing there in like a fucking like goddamn warehouse of dead bodies, and he's like, maybe the doctor's not coming to save us this time, boys. Oh, we're fucked out here. It was a little more dramatic than that, but it was like, this is what happens when the fucking doctor doesn't come and save us. It's like, don't put this on him.
Yeah,
he can't be there all the time.
I think it was quite early on. Maybe it was even one of the first 3 episodes, but I always remember because I did watch the first thing of Torchwood.
I watched like 2 seasons of Torchwood.
I have actually not seen very much.
But it's not good.
At the time, I remember watching like one of the early on episodes, and it's the start one where the main character gets introduced to Torchwood and all that stuff. And then I think almost immediately after that is the one where a possessing little gaseous cloud alien that survives off orgasms.
Yep, that's the first episode.
Not the first.
That's like
second. That's the first non-pilot.
Yeah,
episode.
That's like the first non-pilot.
Is the sex feeding? Yeah. Which start as you mean to go on, because literally it is such a horny show.
They really put their. I honestly fault them for swinging that high too fast. They could have waited.
Yeah, that really you shouldn't start.
You shouldn't start there because there's nowhere else to go.
You've peaked kind of conceptually by having the scene where some people are dry humping in the bathroom and then the guy gets turned to dust when the lady.
Yep. Yeah. No, there was
incredible.
Yeah, that guy's wife. He did turn her into the cyber woman. And they put her down like a dog, and then...
she put her brain in the pizza delivery person. And then they put her down like a dog. No, it did happen.
And they put her down like a dog, and then they started fucking a couple seasons later. And then he dies too.
And he dies too.
It's very tragic. A lot shorter than you think he is. Yeah, doesn't he wear platforms? as
I can believe it.
As Jack.
One of the funniest jokes they ever did was that thing with the actors for 5, 6, and 7 when the 50th anniversary was being made, where John Barrowman has a cameo in that, and the joke is that he has a secret straight family that he hides from the press.
Stupid.
So fucking dumb. Like Peter Davidson just catches him going to his car, and he's like, "Oh, you should help us try and we're trying to get into the 50th anniversary thing because we weren't invited. You should help." He's like, I'm busy." He's like, "Well, where are you got? Who have you got in the car?" And he looks, and it's his wife and 2 kids. And John Barrowman's like, "You have to not tell anybody. You can't."
Dumb ass. Fucking
so fucking stupid.
Dumb ass. Stupid. Stupid.
Blade.
Stupid. It's
in answer
funny.
to your question.
Blade. Yeah, that's like a trial. It's like one of the trial undead.
Yeah, it's very.
What the trial undead look like.
Yeah, it's very like that.
Why are we talking about Dr. Fucking Who so much?
Why are we? This is
every couple of weeks we have to do this.
We do have to do this, which is where we. Yeah. We have to purge it. We have to talk it out about.
I don't even remember why we got started on this. We're talking about James Bond.
James Bond, yeah.
Why are we talking about James Bond? Oh, because we were talking about Transformers.
Yeah.
We were talking about Megan Fox getting written off.
We're talking about Godzilla first.
We're talking about Godzilla
Shin
first.
Ultraman. Can you believe all of this started with... And I was only thinking about that because the actor from Black Sun. So by bringing up Black, you have led us to talking about Doctor Who.
That's always like this. It's either this or Power Rangers. I don't really want to talk about Power Rangers right now.
No, what...
Power Rangers fans are mad because Power Rangers is being too original
You
now.
can stop there.
No, I'm not
Power Rangers fans are mad.
Power Rangers fans are mad because Power Rangers... I already talked about Gundam. It started with Gundam.
It's true. Have I got... There's no other subjects I bring up.
There's no other subjects.
This is like...
This is the complete...
You're having the whole experience.
This is the complete everything, yeah. This everything that we talk about and think about.
This is you're seeing us like laid bare right here, but not as exciting as that sounds.
Didn't talk about Super Sentai.
We didn't. Like,
it's fine.
We actually, yeah, it's fine. Did we talk about Geats?
No. What is there to talk about?
No. What was there?
No, we did talk about it.
We talked about that. We talked about that.
We talked about Fate already too. I already talked about Fate.
It's true.
We talked about everything. I don't know what you
We've actually covered it.
We covered every topic.
Note this down on your bingo cards. This is what like a full house looks like.
Talk about how you think Geats could be better. I don't think
it's fine.
It's not necessarily bad as it is right now. I think it's shaping up. I honestly think that was the best episode yet.
Yeah, that was actually good because like there was like actual kind of characters.
There was actual character moments. Fucking Geats and Buffa doing their weird little gay thing. It's fucking hilarious.
That was really good, actually. I like the bits where Buffer kind of dropped the act and actually acted like a normal person, but like definitely by accident.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't like meaning to do that. He just like got sort of taken off guard and was like.
I immediately endeared the character to me.
Yeah, I like the idea that
I don't want him to go in the first act.
No, like immediately it was like, oh, he's not like. He is in fact making a conscious effort to be the fucking edgy one. Not like for the bit, like, but it's a concerted thing. It doesn't come naturally necessarily.
I honestly think that given that he has, like, we've seen that flash of his backstory, I think he's safe for now. I don't know. I feel like there's enough for him to actually stick around. I don't think he's got, like, we've been back and forth about if he's gonna get murked in the first arc or not. I don't think so. He doesn't seem like he's gonna stay like the antagonist for long. Like,
no.
But I always hesitate because I'm like, oh well, he's got a backstory and there's more depth to his character than just like the first rival. But you could say that shit about Caliber and look what happened to him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is. But I think it really comes down to that we do have to, like, I think we have to put more points in the fact that this is a Takahashi production. He's not going to kill this guy off.
No.
This guy is the purple guy. He stays.
Yeah. Takahashi doesn't really kill people off all that much.
He does near the end.
Yeah, but I mean, like, at this stage of the game, he's not likely to
did anybody actually die, like...
And stay dead?
Graphite did, I guess.
Yeah, he did. He actually stayed dead. He sacrificed himself to do nothing to Cronus and stayed fucking dead.
Yeah.
Never come back, to my knowledge.
Like, everybody's still alive, even fucking Kuroto. Now.
Oh, now, yeah.
Everybody in Tier 1 died, though.
Also never. Yes.
Literally everybody in Tier 1 died. So.
Except for Aruto.
Except for Aruto and Yaiba.
Yeah.
And Thouser.
And Thouser. Although, I mean, he's got something else going on.
Any day now.
Any day now. I cannot believe that Kuroto had a fucking fight with him and just let him live. Just let him go.
Pussy.
As if Muso couldn't have taken him.
Losing his touch.
Fucking Muso.
Whatever.
Muso.
But I don't think Takahashi's gonna kill this guy.
No.
I think he's gonna stick around. I hope
we've had that. Yeah, I hope so. I feel like I'm seeing the beginnings of kind of where this is going.
Yeah.
Definitely trying out a few different things, which is fine.
Trying out some noises.
It's early days, yeah.
Yeah, it's early days. It's it's okay to fuck around.
Yeah, I did feel like I kind of got the best impression of the characters and how they relate to each other.
Yeah,
in
it seems
one.
like it's coming together in this one,
Which is good.
in a better way than it has been in the last like couple of like.
Yeah, but it's always kind of rough.
Tycho's still kind of fucking nothing. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, he's like.
Yeah, I got more from him this time than
I got a
than
little more
previously,
from him
but
this time. I mean, he's definitely working towards something. I think that like pairing him off with Buffa is gonna be like good to like see parts of his character.
Yeah.
Assuming that doesn't get reversed next week, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I feel like they were implying next week that Geats and Buffa will be repaired together.
Maybe, yeah.
That seemed to be what I was getting from the next time segment, but that shit runs so fast I couldn't fucking tell.
Yeah, not a lot was really said in that, to be honest.
They never really say anything in those for Geats.
No.
You never really get a clear indication of what exactly you're gonna get next week, which is why we always go into it like, what is happening this week?
Yeah, genuinely, this week I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I really had no...
I really couldn't remember, yeah. And cut.
And cut.
Okay, I think we should end here.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm glad you felt that as well at the exact same time.
And,
Okay.
That's enough talking about... That's enough being on topic. It's time to end.
That's it?
Yeah. It's enough being on topic for 1 week.
Yeah. Get out.
Before anyone says anything, I'm very aware of how far behind I am on the VODs. Don't. Okay, like, the fucking site is fighting me so goddamn hard about this. Like, some of them are just being straight blocked.
Oh.
Why the fuck are Nanners and Zen playing fucking Madden? What the fuck? Look, why are they playing fucking Madden for 6,000 people watching a fucking... Why are 6,000 people watching Nanners play fucking Madden? I'm not rating that, by the way.
No. Go find that yourself.
I'll go find that yourself. There's nothing.
Football!
Football!
Soccer!
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 Okay, there's suckers. There's nothing. I'm not rating anything today. Fuck off.
Get out. Get out.
I might stream tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. I don't know what I'm going to stream or when or if I'm going to. I might not. It depends on how I feel after work.
Gorilla. We go gorilla.
Monkey.
We go monkey.
Monkey. Friday is Dark Souls. Sunday is Transformers. Dravization. Dinobot. Grimlock. Actually, that's all this week. Yeah, because we're not doing anything on Saturday. Fuck off. Bye, everybody. No, that's it. Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye, everyone.
Fuck off.